They say a person's future is not determined by their circumstances. It is determined by their thoughts. And while this truth has been repeated for centuries, most people still live their entire lives without discovering its power. Today, I'm going to tell you a story that will teach you one lesson so powerful that it can change the direction of your entire life. A story that will prove that anyone with the right mindset can rise, can grow, and can succeed. So stay with me till the end, because what you're about to hear might be the turning point of your journey. Part 1. The Man Who Was Invisible. In a crowded marketplace of a small town lived a man named Rafiq. He wasn't a businessman. He wasn't an entrepreneur. He wasn't even someone people noticed. He was a shoe shiner. Every morning before the sun rose, Rafiq would sit on the same wooden box at the corner of the market, waiting for someone to stop, someone to notice, someone to give him work. But most people walked past him. Some gave him a coin out of pity. Some didn't even look at him. Rafiq had accepted one thing: my life is small and will always remain small. He believed he had no value. He believed he had nothing to offer, and life treated him exactly that way. Part 2. The question that changed everything. One hot afternoon, a well-dressed professor visited the market, a tall man with silver hair and kind eyes. He noticed Rafiq calling out to customers, "Sir, shoe polish, please, sir." The professor stopped. Instead of giving Rafiq money, he sat next to him and asked, "Tell me, why should anyone come to you?" Rafiq froze. No one had ever asked him this. He replied softly, "Because I need money." The professor shook his head. "No, that is why you ask. But why should they come to you?" Rafiq had no answer. The professor smiled gently. "My son, people don't pay because you need. People pay because you add value." He placed a hand on Rafiq's shoulder and said something Rafiq never forgot. "If you want to receive more, first become someone who gives more." And then he walked away, leaving Rafiq confused and curious. Part 3. The Seed of Change. That night, Rafiq couldn't sleep. Add value? Give more? What does that even mean? He looked at his small, wooden box, his old, torn brush, his nearly empty Polish bottle. "This is all I have. What can I give?" But then a thought hit him. What if I don't just shine shoes? What if I make people happy they stopped by? What if I give more than they expect? The next day, Rafiq woke up early and cleaned his small station. He washed his cloth, bought a small cheap perfume, and even found an old mirror someone had thrown away. He placed it in front of his stall. Then he practiced smiling. Yes, he literally practiced smiling. Part 4. The First Customer. His first customer that day was a middle-aged man in a hurry. "Polish?" Rafiq asked. Quickly, the man replied. As Rafiq worked, he didn't just polish. He brushed gently, carefully, and at the end, he sprayed a bit of perfume on the shoes. The man looked surprised. "What's that?" Rafiq smiled. "Just a small finishing touch, sir. No extra charge." The man looked at his shoes. For the first time in years, they looked shiny, clean, and even smelled good. He smiled, not out of pity, not out of obligation, but out of satisfaction. He handed Rafiq double the money and said, "Boy, you're good. I'll come again." For the first time in his life, Rafiq felt something. Pride. Not ego, not arrogance, but the pride of becoming valuable. Part 5. The Man Who Became a Brand. Within a week, people started talking. "Go to Rafiq, the best shoe polish in the market. He treats customers like kings. He adds perfume and mirror service." His small box became a small stall. His small stall soon had a shade, and his shade soon became a proper shop. People loved him, not because he begged for business, but because he gave them value, honor, and care. Part 6. The Return of the Professor. Months passed. One morning, the professor returned to the same market. He looked around for the quiet shoe shiner, but instead, he found a bright, well-decorated shop. He raised an eyebrow in surprise. Inside the shop stood Rafiq, confident, well-dressed, smiling. The professor said, "You look familiar. Have we met?" Rafiq laughed. "Yes, sir. Months ago, I sat right there on the street. I was the shoe shiner you spoke to." The professor's eyes widened. "What happened to you?" Rafiq replied, "You taught me a simple truth. If I want to receive more, I must become someone who gives more. I stopped seeing myself as a poor man. I saw myself as someone valuable. And when my thoughts changed, my life changed too." The professor nodded proudly. Part 7. The Lesson for You. My friend listening to this story is not about Rafiq. It is not about a shoe shiner. It is about you, your job, your business, your dreams, your opportunities. All of them depend on one thing: how you see yourself, how much value you bring, how you treat your work, how much extra effort you give, how much you grow your mindset. People don't pay for presents. People pay for value. And value doesn't come from money. It comes from skill, mindset, attitude, effort, creativity, service. When you grow, your income grows, your respect grows, your opportunities grow. Part 8. The final message. You may feel small today. You may feel unnoticed. You may feel like your life doesn't matter. But remember this: you are not small. Your thinking is small. Change your thoughts, and you change your destiny. You are not limited. You are not powerless. You are not stuck. You are powerful beyond imagination. You just need to discover it. Because life always rewards those who become valuable, who choose growth, who choose belief, and who choose effort over excuses. So from today, give more, improve more, learn more, serve more, become more, and watch how your entire future transforms. Ending. If this story inspired you, share it, like it, and type in the comments, "I will add value," because that declaration might just be the beginning of your new.